The BBI train made a stopover in Narok yesterday. This is an area of the country dominated by Kenya's most famous tribe, the Maasai. People travel from very far away coming to Kenya, and their main objective is to see the famous Maasai. Yeah, but that's a story for another video on this channel, which is already there, or a story for another day. And because the BBI chaps have asked people to speak openly, the Maasai have many issues, including the idea of banning people from fencing their property. Why? So that cows can be able to graze openly on undeveloped land. Hata kama uko na title deed, wacha ng'ombe zikule nyasi. Anyway, at yesterday's meeting in Narok, it is not issues that stole the show. Burning issues, contentious issues. No, what stole the show was some full-blooded local Maasai Morans who demanded that Babu Owino be allowed to address them. Now, let me not lose you at this early juncture, and tell you very clearly, had this happened, had this Narok BBI meeting happened, before the unfortunate incident at a Nairobi club, where somebody got shot, this demand by the Morans would not have been there. Now, the reaction of most Kenyans to this incident is predictable. Kenyans are horrified. What is the country coming to? The meeting had a program. Babu Owino was not on it. Even where he was seated, somewhere towards the back on the side, told you very clearly that he is not, at the moment, one of those individuals the ODM party is very proud of. This is politics. And even the BBI boys knew very well that if he sat at the front in a prominent position, it may send the wrong signal. Opponents of BBI may want to use it against the BBI. Still, the hawk-eyed, very observant Morans noticed him, and they disrupted the meeting and demanded Babu Owino must speak. They made it very clear from their actions that what they were actually saying is no Babu Owino, no meeting. And so the organizers had no option but to call Babu Owino to speak. And the Morans wildly cheered. And then, after he spoke, peace returned to the meeting. It could now continue. Now, I'm not here to criticize our dear Maasai brethren. Instead, on this show, I would like to draw your attention to something which is critical in politics. Something which no politician and no person who wants change in Kenya can afford to ignore. And it is simply this: basic human instinct. I'm sure you know we are all born with some basic human instincts, some basic things in us. For instance, the first human basic instinct you were born with was the instinct to suckle, because you needed it for survival. To suckle the breasts of your mother. And then as you grow older into an adult, these basic human instincts get even more interesting. Now, please humor me for a few minutes. We'll come back to the politics in a bit, after we're all on the same page in understanding just how powerful and irresistible basic human instincts are. Researchers, scientific researchers, have been able to prove conclusively that in a situation where a certain female is with a certain male, and this includes animals, and that male, whom this female is very close to, has feelings for, loses that fight to the other male, is badly beaten, is badly defeated, heightened brain activity in the female And even her actions after the fact clearly, very clearly show that her feelings change. Her feelings, for this male she has been with, her fond feelings rapidly evaporate. And she automatically starts developing very strong feelings for the other male who has won the fight. And there's something else that happens in the body of the female. And this is a big one. Wait for it. I'm not sure if you're ready for it. I kid you not. Scientists, to their utter shock, also notice something else happening in the body of the female. Her body, her hormones, start preparing to mate. Yes, I said mate. To mate with this victorious male. In fact, the female develops a deep, irresistible desire to mate with the victorious male who has just beaten up the male she previously had feelings for. Now, in human behavior, in human social circles, we call this betrayal by a very bad woman. In some instances, we could call it adultery. While in actual fact, what is happening here is just basic human instinct. That's all. And of course, the big revelation here is that a good woman is the kind of woman who develops strong willpower to fight against her basic human animal instincts. Now let's draw closer to politics. One of the basic human instincts that affects voters all over the world, not only in Kenya, is of course tribalism. Let me tell you a personal story to illustrate this. Those who have followed the Kumekucha brand for a long time will already know this, that the last time I voted tribally, based on tribal instincts, was in 1997. And yet that was the year, which was very crucial in my political lecturers, from my late political lecturer, who was disgusted by tribalism in Kenyan politics, how it was destroying Kenyan politics. Indeed, 5 years later, when I went out for a drink with my political lecturer, actually 10 years later, in the year 2007, I witnessed my political lecturer destroying a fellow Mkamba and writing him off as an idiot. Because he asked him very simply. This Mkamba was saying Kalonzo Musyoka is going to win the presidency in 2007. And so, my political lecturer asked him a simple question. How many Kambas are there registered as voters? And if you don't know that, tell me the population of the Kamba people. The man didn't know, although he was a very educated man. So my political lecturer told him, about 1 million. Is that enough to get Kalonzo into State House? My political lecturer asked the man. Who else outside Ukambani will vote for Kalonzo? What political alliance does Kalonzo have that will get him the other votes he needs to get to State House? And then he rested his case. He picked up his mug of white cup called lager and took a long sip. The entire small watering hole somewhere in Ukambani went quiet. And then everybody started speaking at the same time. Yes, the man could get provoked when he saw any signs of tribalism coming into a political discussion. But in 1997, the same man, in the heat of those presidential elections as they drew nearer, and as the fever of the elections affected everybody, could not stop talking about President Charity Ngilu. Now, I didn't always agree with him. Indeed, in those days, I took the slightest opportunity to oppose him with facts. But I don't know what happened in 1997. Because I got caught up in those tribal emotions. And I went to the polling booth on election day and cast my vote very confidently and with all my heart for the SDP. She was an SDP candidate. For the SDP candidate for president, Charity Kaluki Ngilu. And so did my political lecturer. and we went back to our humble rural home and switched on the radio and kept a close watch on the election results trickling in. And we all had a lot of hope that Charity Ngilu was going to win. You know, when I look back at that election, I feel very stupid. I feel like an idiot. Because whatever way you want to analyze it, with whatever grand theories you may want to bring in, there was no way Ngilu was going to win those elections. No way. Basic human instincts, very powerful. They reduce a person's intellect to zero, in fact below zero. And so in Narok yesterday, the Morans' basic instinct of admiring the brave, admiring those who fell others, took over. Yeah, and they had no apologies to make. Because one thing about the Maasai, they express themselves freely. They don't care what people think. Well, the rest of us are a bit more, shall I say, cultured. We have the same exact instincts, but we like pretending. We pretend that we are wise, that we have logical points to support our logical choice. But in actual fact, what's happening is that our primitive animal instincts are at work. All we are doing is a very good job of hiding and masking them from being seen. But at the end of the day, we cannot run away from our basic instincts as humans, and humans are animals. I have seen women line up to vote for a man who is not only a womanizer, but harasses and metes out violence against women. But they like him. They like him very much, so they vote for him. Indeed, they prefer him to the very nice gentleman, the weakling, who the other day was slapped by his wife and didn't hit back. I've seen that happen with my own eyes. Not a story I read somewhere. Not a story somebody told me. I witnessed it. I've seen marriages fall apart where the woman no longer has respect for her man. In fact, she can't stand him. And it all started when he lost his job. Yeah, that's a battle. She witnessed him being beaten badly. And then instead of this husband of ours manning up, he disintegrated right before our very eyes. And he started getting very comfortable, surviving on her small salary, where she paid all the bills. Primitive instincts interpreted that as the woman was stronger than the man. And women are wired such that they don't have any attraction, they don't feel anything, any sexual attraction to a man who's weaker than them. It can never happen. Now, I know we live in the 21st century, but my friends, my sisters, my brothers, be very careful about basic human instincts and how they impact your life, how they impact your marriage. And let us be wary of how they impact our politics and make arrangements early in good time to counter basic human instincts that will prevent us from reaching that place we all want to go to, which is a better Kenya. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.